here we are. Awesome. Yes, I have. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get to it. I am not a financial advisor. I'm not here giving you financial advice. I am just letting you know what it is that's in my brain, what I've learned, what I've picked up along the way. And I'm forever grateful for that information. So I'm sharing it with every single one of you. So let's get into the basics. This might be repeated information. I do think that repetition is just the way that it just gets engraved in our brain, right? Like you go to the gym and it's muscle memory. You don't get quote unquote ripped after doing it one time, but you put some repetition, you put some time under tension, and then you have the results that you want. So it's the same thing here. I'm going to repeat myself a few times, but in the hopes that this really just sticks. So what's an NFT? NFT is an abbreviation for non-fungible token. What does that mean? Okay, so more than anything, this is the gist of it. It's a digital asset, right? It can be an album, it can be a JPEG, for the most part they are, a profile picture, so on and so forth. But this is what you have to take away. It's unique, it's provably scarce, it's indivisible, and it's on the blockchain. The blockchain technology is what has evolutionized the way that we do things and the way that we will do things in the near future. In fact, like we are in the middle of putting things brick by brick, block by block on here. And I'm really excited to see where everything is implemented. Actually, disclaimer, I've also been to the NFT conference, NFT week, it's what it's called, here in Miami. I went yesterday, I skipped today, but I'm going all day tomorrow to continue to learn where and how it is that this is going to be implemented in everyday business. So this doesn't just end with trading. It's not just, oh, let me make a quick bag. No, it goes so much further than that. And I hope that the more that we talk about it, the more conversations we have about this, the more that we get those gears working and that we start to actually not just get creative with things, but start to implement those things. It's a really exciting time. I really like to nerd out about this. All right, so why are they important? Well, I kind of just went over it, but the thing that's on my PowerPoint is what is the one thing that is the biggest social setting, right? Social media. What's the medium that we utilize, I'm assuming everyone here, because we're all using Zoom on a daily basis, right? To get more information, to get connected. We're all using the internet here, whether it's Wi-Fi or your data, but we're all on the internet. The internet single-handedly changed the way that we live, right? I don't know when that was, 1970, 1980, not really sure, but it completely changed the game. And I also want you guys to think about this. Imagine being a teenager, a 20-something-year-old, a 30-something-year-old at that time, and then thinking, okay, how am I going to use this? Or there were some people that were a little skeptical about the internet, right? Like, oh, why am I going to put my private information on there? Is it safe? Where does the energy come from? How does it work? People want to know all the details, right? So imagine yourself back then. That's basically what we're going through now, because I believe that the blockchain technology is the internet of this time, right? It's completely changing the game. We're doing things completely different, and it's going to catapult us into a different setting. So just to cut it short, NFTs are more than JPEGs. All right. So here is a digital collectible versus a tangible collectible. I used to have a cousin, and I talk about her all the time because she used to collect Beanie Babies. That's what these little bears are. And she had in her room, 2 of her 4 walls were covered from floor to ceiling with these collectibles, these Beanie Babies. And I always wondered, like, why is she so into Beanie Babies? But, you know, collectors will do what collectors will do. That was her thing. Now we're doing something similar, but we don't have to have it from floor to ceiling, something in the physical taking up space. We have everything on the internet, on the blockchain, on the cloud, right? So let's go ahead and compare them. What can we do with both of them? Well, we can showcase them. We can show people, hey, this is what it is that we have. This is what's important to me. However, the digital collectible does so much more, right? It can show social status. Some of these have big utility, right? Some of that utility could be airdrops, and we'll get into these things a little bit later. Community or a whitelist. So just to name a few. All right, not really going to go too much into that. We could compare very briefly the way that we do things then and now, right? You can think of Twitter or Instagram or YouTube, the social plaza of before. I've been to my parents' hometown countless times for years in Mexico. They were born in Mexico, and I've been there, and people just go and they socialize. It sounds really funny, but yeah, people just go and they socialize, and then they meet their friends there, and they just start drinking their drink or eating their snacks or whatever the case may be, enjoying some music, enjoying the weather, and just kind of hanging out. Right now, we do that on Twitter, on Facebook, commenting on other people's stuff, going back and forth, sometimes scrolling, right? But more than anything, that's our social engagement. Well, some of it. I hope it's not all of it. But that's the way that things have kind of flipped for us. We used to have, we still do, sorry. We used to focus only on, this is in Spanglish, sorry about that. We used to focus only on retail, like physical, traditional businesses, right? Anyone ever go to Costco, Sam's Club, any store that's in the physical, Walmart, Target, you name it. Those are the most traditional businesses that there are, right? There's big old inventory in there. You go, you pick out your stuff, you go to the checkout, somebody rings you up, and then you're on your merry way home. Well, now, if I want something, your girl just goes on her app, orders something, and it could be there that same day or probably max 2 days later. So we're in different times, right? Same thing with Netflix. I still go to the theater, but I don't know if anyone here has gone to a Blockbuster. I used to go to Blockbuster and rent out movies, and now everything is on Netflix or other websites similar to Netflix, right? HBO Max, Amazon Video, I think it's called, Prime Video, something like that. Point being is that everything is on the internet. And then NFTs, it's very similar. Actually, it can wrap up almost all of these things. I think that eventually it will engulf all of these things, get those gears working. NFTs have changed the game because they allow you to have property on the internet, right? Think about it right now. What do you own on the internet? You're thinking, oh, well, I have an online store. I own my domain. Cool. Actually, the host of your domain owns your domain. Because when you buy a domain, you're buying the www.whatever.com. But they're using a host to actually connect it to the internet. So they actually own your domain. Because if they forever, for whatever reason, want to just go poof, bam, out of business, then your domain will no longer work. So something to think about. Same thing with our Instagram. It's not really ours. If Mark Zuckerberg wants to prohibit certain things, he will say, hey, you're not allowed to say that. Hey, you're not allowed to do this. What's the message called? Like sensitive content, or it goes against company policy or community policies, whatever the case may be, right? There's certain rules that we have to follow because it's not ours. So NFTs, they've changed the game because you have complete ownership of something online, and you can pretty much do whatever you want with it. So that's cool. And it's based on the blockchain technology, so nobody can say that's not yours. Yes, it is. I have the receipts. It's on the blockchain. All right. So a little spiel, Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. Sometimes people ask what Web 3 really is. Well, let's go through them, right? Web 1, I like to consider it Cliff Notes, right? HTML. Think of it as the most basic websites that we had at first when we were first adapting to the internet, right? Web 2, that started to have engagement. Now we had buttons, we had social media, people were communicating. We have apps, there was mobile access. I remember I used to use my mom's phone and go on like the little Internet Explorer and then like have to type everything out. It was good times. And now we're going into Web 3. What's Web 3? It's that ownership. It's decentralization. It's taking control. And of course, with control, with power comes responsibility, sure. But we're adapting into a different time. And NFTs are actually only a part of that, but it's really exciting stuff. So NFTs are changing the internet. And the good news is that we're barely getting started. I like to say that we are in the AOL stage. So what AOL was to the internet, we're in that stage for NFTs. I think that we're so early on. Yes, right now, NFTs are a buzzword on Twitter, on Instagram, maybe on Facebook, probably not, I don't know. On YouTube, right? People are making videos about this, and some people know what they're about and other people don't, but we hear the abbreviation constantly. We're just getting started. Right now, we're still focused on art. we're still focused on communities. We're still focused on collectibles. And although those things will remain important, I don't think that's where we're going to stop. NFTs are not just art. I appreciate them for being art. I will continue to collect what it is that I like and that I align with, but it's just the beginning. It's a snowball effect. It'll start to impact different industries. So again, I want this to be an interactive training. I don't really care too much for just like saying things, but I want you guys to start thinking, what industry are you in? Are you in the food and beverage industry, hospitality industry, finance industry? What is it that you do? And then how do you think NFTs will be incorporated there? Or how will you incorporate NFTs there? So just something to think about. All right, so talking about a little bit about social status, right? A lot of celebrities like to flex their NFTs, specifically this one that I'm focusing on, right? Who here knows the name of it? I'm sure we do. So the collection of the NFT that's being portrayed here most often is the Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? BAYC for short. And if you notice, like I said, celebrities like to flex on us. They like to say, yo, I have this. Why is that a flex? Because although it's speculative, what's the word, value, perceived value, we know what that Bored Ape is worth. 6 figures plus, right? And growing and going up. So you can see here, people put it on their Instagram bio, on their Twitter bio, saying like, I am a holder of a Bored Ape. I own this number. And then of course, people can check the number on that, check on the blockchain, on the Etherscan, and say, okay, yeah, this one is owned by so-and-so on OpenSea or whatever the case may be, looks rare. And that's the same thing with any NFT. Doesn't have to just be the Bored Ape Yacht Club. This just happens to be the most popular for now, right? So I really like observing, almost studying the community in the Bored Ape Yacht Club, because one, they're people of influence, two, they're people of wealth, affluence. And that combo, I think, is lethal. Because imagine what happens when people of influence and people of money come together, or if they're the same one, they make moves, right? So I like to be observant. I like to follow the money. I know that success leaves clues, and I'm here to pick them up. All right, so I want to give you guys a little bit of perspective on how this could move, actually how it has moved. So the Bored Apes were minted, were brought to life on April 23rd, 2021. So less than a year ago, just shy of a year ago. Their mint price, this is going to hurt some people, but their mint price was 0.08 Ethereum. To give you guys perspective, Ethereum that week of April, I checked, was $2,300. So you could have gotten a Bored Ape for 184 USD. That hurts a little, right? It stings because the floor today of those apes is 100 ETH. It probably went up a little bit. I checked this 2 days ago. 100 ETH. Ethereum is at what? 3,500, something like that, maybe a little bit more. Should have checked that before this call. But basically, the minimum that someone is willing to sell one of these monkeys for is $341,000. Sorry, that's kind of important. So it went from $184 to $341,000 in 11 months and a week. Not bad, not bad. Return on investment, definitely there. Not only that, but I don't want you guys to focus on NFTs being you catching your bag. What kind of conversations do you think these Bored Apes are having? They all have influence, and now they most definitely all have affluence. So imagine the locker room talk that's going on behind closed doors. Imagine what their Discord is like. Imagine what their iMessage group chat is like, right? Like, what do you think they're doing next? Are they creating a DAO? Are they creating a token, which they have? Are they aping into new projects, which they are? They can have these kind of conversations. And I'm excited because I'm gonna get in there. All right. So this is just super quick. I don't want to spend too much time on here because I'm sure some of you guys are a little bit more advanced in this, but there's a difference in NFTs, right? Some are SOL-based, some are ETH-based, some run on the Cardano network, and I think some will now run on the XRP network. More to come. But these are the two major networks, right? Solana and Ethereum. I'm going to go ahead and compare them because I want you guys to have an idea of what it is, where it is that you want to start. Solana, it's more economical, being completely real. Number one, SOL right now is at 130 per one SOL, right? Also, their gas are close to none, actually. They're like really, really minimal. I think it's usually like 0.0005, something like that, give or take. Don't quote me on that. But their fees are super economical. However, they do have less volume, and you can take that with a grain of salt. You can take that as, I mean, it's not good nor bad, it just is, right? Perception. But they do have less volume. What I mean by that is less users and less money being traded back and forth. What I will have to say, again, disclaimer, take it however you want. Every now and then, the Solana network has kind of just gone off the grid. And it comes back. She always comes back. But that is worth taking note of, right? Then we have Ethereum. Ethereum, you can consider it like the OG, the original. Of course, it's kind of like what Bitcoin is to crypto, Ethereum is to NFTs. So we have these NFTs that are based on the ETH network. They have more users, right? Because all the Bored Apes and pretty much every original NFT project was running through Ethereum. So they have more users, and consequently, of course, they have more volume. The apes are in there, and those apes are running for over 250,000. So of course, they're going to be trading more back and forth, right? I will say that ETH has significantly higher gas fees. Notice that. Beautiful. Yeah, the gas fees, I think the ETH network has been working on that for about a year. They made some changes, right? But yeah, you're going to be paying some gas fees. So take that for whatever it is that you want. If you want to get started with SOL and then transition to ETH, by all means, do you. If you do want to do that, then Phantom Wallet is going to be basically, you just choose a Solana wallet and then you connect it to Magic Eden. Magic Eden, I'm going to go ahead and close out of this. I think the internet is a little slow. Let me know if you guys can still hear me. My transaction. Yes, transaction fees. Thank you. Okay, so Magic Eden is a marketplace. So think of it as the Amazon for SOL NFTs, right? It's a storefront. It's an online store where you can buy and sell your NFTs. So Phantom is the wallet that's pictured here. There are a few others, but that's the wallet that I use. I think it's also probably the most popular. And then for the Ethereum network, we have MetaMask, right? MetaMask is also an extension. So I'll teach you how to get it in just a bit, but you connect this to your Google Chrome or your Brave browser, and then you go ahead and you either create a wallet or import a wallet, and you're going to connect that to the Ethereum marketplace. The most popular one is OpenSea. I will say, shameless plug, there's another marketplace called LooksRare. I do appreciate LooksRare because, so whenever you're buying and selling on these marketplaces, they take a commission, right? It's almost as if, let's see. It's almost like, I don't know if anyone does Walmart automation, or if anyone has ever gone to like the flea market and you like kind of like set up shop, right? Well, whoever is in charge likes to take a percentage as commission because that's how they make their money. So with LooksRare, a percentage of that commission actually goes to the seller. So let's say that I wanted to sell a Bored Ape on LooksRare, I would get 3%. I think it's 3%. Don't quote me on that, but I would get 3% of the total sale, and it would just go back in my pocket. I would receive it in token. So I will say that instead of the platform just making that commission, on LooksRare, they do give you part of that commission. So kind of cool. solanaart.io. I have not looked into that. Beautiful. All right. So this is how you open up a wallet. If you guys want to take a screenshot or a picture of this, it's the same thing for MetaMask. You would just swap Phantom app for MetaMask. So first you want to go ahead and search that phantom.app, and then you download it as an extension for Chrome. You have to have Chrome, Google Chrome, or Brave browser, sorry. And then you want to fund it, right? So basically 3 things that you need to get into NFTs is you need to have a wallet, you need to have funds in that wallet, and then you need to have an open mind, because this is new territory for a lot of us. Then you go to magiceden.io, and you're gonna see a button at the top right. It's gonna say connect a wallet. So you're gonna go ahead and connect the wallet that you have, that you just opened up, to magiceden.io, and that creates a profile for you. It creates like a username for you. And it looks just like this. I will say, create more than one wallet. So when you're creating your wallet, you can add multiple sub wallets in there. I would say it's responsible and conservative and just good practice to have more than one. Why? Because when you're going to get a brand new project, the process is called minting. When you're going to go get a brand new project, it's not going to be on the Magic Eden marketplace. Magic Eden is for secondary purchases. So if I'm launching my project, let's say I want to call it GoPro. Okay, GoPro is going to be found at GoPro.com. Well, I'm going to connect my wallet to GoPro.com, but you just never know. There are some people out there with malice, right? There was some bad intentions, and they could be looking to connect your wallet so that they can leak or bleed your wallet out and take all your funds. So what I recommend is practicing good cyber hygiene by having multiple wallets, and you only connect the wallet that has the least amount of capital in there. Like you only want the funds that are necessary for you to purchase this one NFT, and that's it. Because let's say worst case scenario, you know, if it was like illegitimate mint, then they only took that and they didn't take anything else that you have in your other wallets, and they didn't take your other NFTs that are saved in your other wallets too. So just kind of like you're mitigating your loss, you're just kind of covering your ground, you're covering your own behind, if you will. All right, so here's the good stuff. This is what to look for in an NFT project, right? Because now we know how to get one, now we know how to buy one, but which ones do we buy? So what to look for. Number one, you want to see who's behind it, right? You look at the team, you look at the leadership, right? Who's running this? Have they ran one before? Are they influential people? Do they have a network, right? Who are they? Number two is utility. So what does this project do? A lot of them, yes, they could be profile pics. They could be just the art. Awesome. You're going to know what it does or what it doesn't do. You just want to have clarity on that, right? Because secondary question to this is, do you think this will be relevant in 5 years? Is this going long term, or is this something that you just want to get in on, see if you can make a quick buck and then get out? You just want to ask yourself, what's my entry strategy and what's my exit strategy? Does it have room to grow, right? Number three, you want to check out the community. Community is one of the biggest aspects when in NFTs. So you definitely want to check it out. It's important. And usually that's found in the Discord. Most projects, if not all, they operate through a Discord. So you want to see how engaging it is. How engaging are the moderators? How engaging are the co-founders or the team in that, right? Are they providing value? What's everyone else like? What's the culture like in there, right? And then number four, you want to see their roadmap. Their roadmap is basically like the blueprint. What are they going to be doing in the next X amount of time? So usually they have that either on their Mint website, or on their Discord. And what you want to look at that roadmap is, are they ambitious? Do they have anything that's going to be implemented in Web3? Right? Again, you want to see, do they have long-term vision? Is this going to be around in 5 years, right? And then number five is, are people excited? Are they having results? Like, Are people excited to hold on to the project? Have people already like made money off of the project? Have they bought and sold? Are they buying in again? Like some people do that. So you just, again, you just want to get a feel for the ambiance, the environment in there. You want to see if it's suitable for you, because not all NFTs are the same, trust. And same, like some NFTs that are suitable for someone else just might not be my cup of tea, right? So the only way that you're going to find that out is to get in there. Like get in the community, get in the Discord, check it out, get a feel, and then you can have a legitimate bias. You can conclude a legitimate bias because you have that experience. Okay, so homework. You're like, I'm too old for this. You guys can take a screenshot of this or take some notes, but this is how you can research NFTs, right? Just copy this template, and then that way you know what it is that you're looking for. So project name, pretty easy, right? You want to know what it is that you're looking at. Total supply. You got to remember, in case I don't think I've mentioned this before, but this is all based off of the laws of supply and demand, right? A larger supply and little demand, well, project's not doing well. Little supply and higher demand, projects doing well. That's what causes price to go up, right? Because the supply is limited. So you want to know how's the supply doing? If there's 10,000 of them, 20,000 of them, I don't think there's an NFT with infinite supply, because that wouldn't really make sense, but you just want to check that out. Keep your eye on it. The mint date. So again, mint is when this is coming into fruition. When's the launch date, if you will, for private, like the pre-sale, I guess would be a better word for it. So you want to find that out if you're going to get in on the mint or you're going to get in on secondary. Secondary is where it's already had a previous owner and they've resold it. It's as if it's like the shoe game, right? You can go in and you can buy, let's say that I buy 25 Jordan Retro Force, and then I sell them all. Well, I would be secondary, or I would be putting on the secondary market because I bought it. Let's say I bought them for $300 a pop and I'm selling them for $600 a pop. Just an example. You want to get their Discord link, of course. You want to get their website. You want to check it out. You want to get their Twitter. And then you want to see, is there a whitelist still available? If the whitelist is sold out, it's kind of a good sign, because that means that one, the community is engaging and they did something in order for people to get a hold of a whitelist. And two, it means that people want to get in on this pre-sale. So just some things to look for. You obviously want to check out the utility, because that's a big part of an NFT project. And then you just some notes for yourself. Like, why do you personally like it? Why do you think it's suitable for you? So I hope everyone took a screenshot of that. I'm going to move on to the next slide. So some cybersecurity affirmations. Again, you can take a screenshot of this. You can write them down, take a picture, but let's be safe in our NFT journey, right? So some cybersecurity affirmations is, I have a burner wallet, which means I have more than one. I have an extra wallet for those mints or anytime that I think it's going to be something suspicious. So I have minimum one burner wallet, again, meaning I have multiple wallets. Number two, I never click any links from personal messages on Discord. In fact, if you guys didn't know, whenever you join a Discord, you can go into the settings, into the privacy settings, and you can turn off the ability for other people to send you messages from in there. I'll show you guys in a little bit what that looks like, because I think it's really, really important. Okay, but that's number two. I never click links from personal messages on Discord or anywhere else. Number three, I keep my seed phrases in a safe place that are not on my phone. Number four, I don't have my main wallets on my phone. And if I do, I don't connect to public networks. So what I mean by that is, if you guys have MetaMask or Phantom Wallet on your phone, guys, think about how many times you're connecting to Starbucks public Wi-Fi or Chipotle public Wi-Fi, right? There's so many companies that have public networks, and that's like, you're kind of susceptible to hacking there. So if you are going to have your wallet on your phone, I recommend don't log into public networks, or just, I don't have my wallets on my phone at all. So that way I'm not afraid. You can have it on your computer and only connect when you're at home or when you know it's a safe place. And number Wi-Fi. Yeah, exactly. Public Wi-Fi is not safe. That's ratchet. Just kidding. Number 5, I practice cyber hygiene by revoking access to my wallet regularly. So a lot of people don't know, but when we're connecting our wallet to different websites, we're actually, in case you haven't, if you guys haven't read the terms and agreements or the terms and conditions of those websites, you're giving them access to more things than you think you know. So what you can do is you can, for example, on MetaMask, you can go into the settings, and then I think it's called revoke access. And then you can see all the websites that your wallet is connected to. And you can unclick all of them and make sure that you're not connected to anything anymore. Then when you need to connect again, you just connect again, no problem. So I think it's just a good practice to do that on a regular basis. And then there's also revoke.cash. So revoke.cash, I'll check this out right here. Revoke.cash, which you can also log into and start revoking access to things that you have given access to in the past. I know I wanted to go back on something. Oh yeah. So actually, let me do that now before I forget. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Can you guys still see my screen? I'm on Discord now. Let me know, please, if you can see my screen. Okay, you can see that I'm on Discord, right? I'm gonna take your word for it. Okay, beautiful. All right, so no. Okay, just kidding. Thank you for that. Okay, so check this out. I'm not showing a project or anything. I'm just giving you guys some examples. So this is the Best Buds and Mary Jane Discord, right? This is what it looks like. It has all the rules, all the things, everything is really official. I'm going to show you guys how sly people are. So I've had, if anyone ever has like a bunch of private messages, a bunch of private DMs coming to you, just be very, very, what's the word? Careful. Take precaution with that. Look at all these looks rare, best buds. So what people do, people with bad intentions, is that they pretend to be a moderator in a Discord, or they pretend to be a bot in a Discord, and they message you on the side saying, hey, Best Buds is ready to mint, or whatever project is ready to mint. I deleted a lot of these. Let's see. Oh, are these all expired or something? Man. Oh, these are expired. Maybe. Okay, here. So I think it's this one actually. Let's see. Yeah, like, hello, my name. This thing is ready to mint. And then they give you like a website. So let me see the one that I was looking for. So I'm going to be really cautious here, but I'm going to click on the link, and then here we go. So it says, hold up, this link is going to take you to this website, right? Look at the website, www.magiceden.com. That is not Magic Eden. So here it looks like Magic Eden, right? It looks like the legitimate website, magiceden.io/launchpad. You click on it, or I think if you're on your phone, you just hold and press, and then it'll show you what the real website is like, because that's a hyperlink. So this is fake. It's gonna be a fake website. It's gonna look like the real thing. They're gonna ask you to connect your wallet, and then they could just take out everything that is in your wallet because you gave them access to it. So again, what you can do instead, for example, you go here to the Discord, you go to the top left, top left, you go to privacy settings, and then you don't allow direct messages from server members. Done. Do that every time that you go into a new Discord. There's also a public setting over here on just like overall Discord, but I just like to do it this way. So to each their own. But that's how people get got. I sent you a screenshot of mine. Okay, I'll check it out. All right, going back to our presentation. So these are the cybersecurity affirmations. Everyone practice them, please. We don't want anyone stealing your NFT. We don't want anyone stealing your money. We definitely want to avoid that. All right, so decision making is a skill set, very similar to investing, right? Investing is all about making decisions, calculated decisions, and then being okay with the result of that decision making. Why? Because when you don't make decision, you're basically just taking up your mental bandwidth. You got to learn how to make decisions. I'm not saying be snappy. I'm not saying be spontaneous. I'm not saying, don't think about things through. I'm saying when you make a decision, live with the effect of that decision. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so in NFTs, I think I like to consider that there's two routes, right? You can go the minting route where you're getting in on all the mints, or you're getting in on certain mints that you want. So, which means that the idea of the mint price is that should be the lowest price that project is ever at. That's the idea, right? The only thing is that you don't know how well that project is going to do. It could flourish, it could flop. So you're basically, you're analyzing, of course, but you're basically getting a wet napkin and putting it on the wall and hoping that it sticks. The other option, I like to call it the Gary Vee option because this is kind of where I learned it from, but the other option is secondary market only. That means that you wait, it could be like 3 to 5 days. It can be 2 to 4 weeks after the project is minted, because you want to see how people are responding to it. You want to see how the community is responding to it, how they're, if they're getting results, if they're still engaging, if people are still excited, if they're actually following through with their roadmap or not. Again, you just want to take precaution. Not all NFTs are made equal. They are not all the same. So, pick your poison. Do you want to go the mint route and get in at cheaper prices? And then, of course, like your ROI will be significantly higher, potentially. Or do you want to go secondary? You might pay a little bit more, but you have the respaldo, the confidence, because you have more evidence to base it off of. Just something for you guys to think about. All right. So now this is where we segue into the second half or the second part of this training. Your network is your net worth, right? We've talked about community, we talk about team and leadership. Well, NFTs can connect us to people we otherwise wouldn't have met. Right now, I am connected to, oh my God, so many people. Obviously, people on Twitter that follow me just because I have a certain profile pic, just because I retweeted a certain, that I bought a certain NFT project and I'm in part of that community. I'm in a circle for this project that a lot of apes are also in. So I've also, not because I myself have an ape, but I'm connected to a project that other apes are also in. So I'm in a group chat of an inner circle with other apes. Same thing with people in like Miami. Like I wish I can tell you guys all the projects that I'm in, but I don't want to show you my projects. I don't want to put my bag. I just want you to think about, okay, I'm going to be connected to people that I otherwise wouldn't have met. Like this is not someone that's going to be like your next door neighbor or someone that you're going to find at your local Target. This is going to be someone that's potentially on the other side of the world. They could have a 6-figure net worth. They could have a 9-figure net worth. You just don't know, right? So, and then you want to ask yourself, well, what do they know? What do they do? Who do they know, right? Okay. And then, well, this is all a give and take, right? The universe works in dynamic exchange. So how to make a name for yourself in the NFT space? Well, one, you want to be active in the Discord community. You want to be engaging, right? Don't just be a lurker. You want to say like, good morning, good night, good afternoon. What's up, everyone? Grateful to be here. Just like little things like that. It's kind of like your first day at school. Some people might be shy at first, but you really do, again, get a feel for a community, probably since day one. Like as soon as I enter a Discord and I, let's say that I just got into a project, I can get a sense of that community. Are they super welcoming, or do they have a little bit of like some like not so good energy in there? Like you can get a feel. You also want to provide value, right? Again, give more than you take. So whatever it is, like, here's the thing, guys, everyone here, I don't know if you guys think this or not, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You might think that you don't know a lot about NFTs or about crypto, but I mean, you guys let me know who has been here for over 3 months. Lurkers get banned and so hopes. Yeah, exactly. But who's been here for over 3 months? Let me know in the chat. Okay. Okay, a few people. Yes. Okay, beautiful. So you probably know more than most people. And I can say that because, again, I've been observing different communities and even super intimate communities inside those communities. And I realized, like, sometimes people get into a project just because somebody else told them to, but they know nothing about NFTs. They know nothing about crypto. They know nothing about how it works, or what else to get into, because they just don't know what to look for. So you'd be surprised. I think even with this training alone, and the training that happened at 3 p.m. today with Leanne, Kevin, and John, like, you guys have a lot more backing. You guys have a lot more information than most people do. So have confidence, provide that value in those discords, in those group chats and things like that. And get on the spaces. If you guys don't have a Twitter account, I highly recommend getting one. I actually had to, I didn't have to delete it, but I deleted my Twitter account for a reason that I'm not going to talk about. And then I got into NFTs and I was like, well, I definitely have to get a Twitter. The amount of times that I hop on a Twitter space just to hear other people talk about the project, where it's going, or what it's been able to do for them, it's like the modern day podcasts. Like, yes, podcasts are still around, obviously, but you just get to hear, conversation and other people in the same project as you. And sometimes it's with the co-founders, or sometimes it's with the developers, or sometimes it's just with like people inside the community. So you just get that inside perspective. Speak up, right? Even on those spaces. I was really nervous to speak up the first time on a Twitter space, because I felt like I didn't know enough. I was just, getting into the space, into NFTs. But then I realized, like, people know the same as me, or sometimes less. So it's good to like raise your hand in there, clap, throw some emotions in there, some reactions. And if you want to speak up on something, speak up. Engage on Twitter. There's a lot of Twitter raids, like retweeting other people in the NFT community that you're in, or things like that. It's a whole thing. You can reach out to mods. You can reach out to the founders. Like I just reached out to the co-founder of one of the projects that I've been in for a few months, and I realized, like, why haven't I reached out to this person? Like, I have a few of these NFTs in this project. I want to be more connected to the person that made this, right? Like, I want to know what her vision is. I want to just be able to pick her brain a little bit. Who knows? Maybe I want to create an NFT someday. Just, you never know, And then, of course, like, she has more experience. So, okay. So this training was called NFTs and Networking, right? So when networking training, this is your networking training. is hands down the best NFT project without being an NFT project. I will not take any, I will not, like, there's no rebuttal. You can't do that to me. And here's why. There's a community here of over 200,000 students worldwide. We have A1 leadership. We have Christopher Terry. We have Isis Terry. We have Alex Morton. We have John Guaman. We have Trade House. We have Leanne. We have Kevin. We have Mike. We have Tim. We have so many leaders in this that, like, we've talked to, we've learned from, we've engaged with. We know who they are. We know what their morals are. We know what Chris and Isis have done and Alex have done. Like, we've seen what they've done. They have credibility. They have that reputation that they've built for themselves. Utility. What's the utility of I Am? To enrich, educate, and empower 1 million families through financial literacy and personal and leadership development. That's as good utility as I've ever found. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years. And when the deeper I got into NFTs and the more that I was looking into projects and finding what it is that I liked, I realized, God damn, I've really been in this one-of-one platform for the last 4 years. And some of us aren't really sure what it is that we have in front of us. Like, there's no NFT project that is over 3 years old, right? NFTs just weren't a thing until recently. So we have one that has 8 years of education, 8 years of development, 8 years of experience, and leaderships that have been around for obviously longer than that. We have top tier educators, people that have been in the financial markets for 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 years, decades, like longer than ever I've been alive. Like Christopher Terry, I don't know if you guys knew this, but he doesn't take a dime from I Am. Everything goes, all those royalties, the monthly subscription goes to the educators. It goes back into the developers. It goes back to the corporate team. He doesn't take a dime. Why? Because he has made his money in the financial markets, and he continues to do that through other assets. He doesn't need I Am money. So again, you want to think about NFT projects. You want to think about what it is that you're involved in, as, okay, who's behind it? What's the leadership like? What's the utility? Is this going to be around in 5 years? Well, we've tested that and we're here, right? And then what's the roadmap? I'll tell you guys from what it is that I know is that IAM is going to continue to develop, right? At first, it was just Forex. At first, they didn't even have go live. Their roadmap has been played out so well. And I feel like we're not even at our peak yet. So we have travel stuff coming. We have a bunch of other things in development. Like I can't really say what, because one, I don't know exactly, but two, I know some things, I just don't know everything. But there's a solid I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to swear on this, but there's a solid roadmap. We've tested, we have gone through the test of time. We've gone through the test of leadership. We've gone through experiences, and we have purpose. This is where I wrap this training up. This whole training was about NFTs, what to look for, what to look at when you're going into one. And my punchline is that you've been in one. So treat it as one. Like we are in the best project that I could have possibly imagined, even if I would have built it from scratch. Like I myself couldn't have thought of this all the way through, not to the level that it is, not to the purity that it is, not to the extent of professionalism that it is. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that a lot of us don't see. But guys, trust that a community this big with leadership this grand and a purpose this powerful, we can only be bullish. So that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you learned something. I hope you picked something up that you might have not learned before, or at best, or at least, I hope you realize what it is that you're sitting on, because IAM isn't going anywhere. It's a one-of-one project. It's only going to continue to recruit up. It's only going to continue to expand. We've been doing this, and onto a certain way, as Bob Proctor would say. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the presentation. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate you guys learning. Thank you for being here on a Saturday night. Go get your bag. If you have any questions, my DMs are open. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot something. I'm going to be dropping a free NFT cheat sheet on my Instagram. So I hope you guys took some screenshots. I think I left my Instagram handle on some of those slides at NancyAguilera._. So I'm going to be dropping a free NFT cheat sheet on my Instagram. It'll be a PDF. You can save it for yourself. You can print it. You can send it to your teams. You can share it with your mama, anyone that wants them to learn about NFTs. It's just going to be free value, because again, I really do think that this is a transfer of wealth. Like we are going from an old system that doesn't work to the new financial order. And like I mentioned, I don't know if it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, the same way that you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created it, you cannot solve the financial crisis with the same system that created it. This is a new system and it's been put to place. So I appreciate you guys.